What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video, reacting to The True Cost of Touring by Mary Spender. So what's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be reacting to The True Cost of Touring by Mary Spender. As I always say, if you're not already subscribed to Mary Spender, go and give her a sub. Of course, if you're watching this channel, chances are you are subbed already. And go over to the original video and give it a like as well, too. I've included the link in my description. So those of you that do know me know that Mary Spender is one of my all-around favorite YouTubers. Not even just music or guitar YouTubers, just all-around favorite YouTubers. Her videos are extremely well thought out, very intelligent, perfectly executed videos. I just absolutely have nothing but a metric ton of respect for Mary Spender. If you are not subscribed to Mary Spender and you're watching me, you are going to love her. So make sure you go and give Mary a sub, and let's get to it.
Touring is too much fun to stop. Touring is hard on the body. Some of you may have seen my recent announcement that I'm taking Super Sexy Heartbreak out on the road in the UK for 8 dates this autumn. If you are based in the UK or feel like visiting, I would love for you to join me for the evening. It's going to be a very special run of shows. I've assembled an amazing band to play the full record, and I'll also be performing a solo acoustic set to open. Now, much of the discussion around streaming and artist compensation these days, or lack thereof, is paired with, but musicians make money on tour. Making money on tour is seen as the compensation, and some do indeed make a lot of money, particularly if you have a good line of merch to sell. But touring for artists at any level also involves a great deal of expense and risk, and when you're shouldering the burden yourself as an independent artist, it can get scary. Adam Neely has put out a few amazing videos on the brutal reality of touring, which I highly...
Youch. $17,000 loss. Unfortunately, it's quite real, especially if this is recent. It used to be a lot better before inflation on everything, but especially post C-19 thingy where they locked us inside, it's become that much more rough. Unbelievable.
recommend. It's a surprisingly easy way to lose a lot of money, and in a recent article in The Guardian titled "The Shocking Truth About Money Bands Make on Tour," David Martin, Chief Executive Officer of the Featured Artists Coalition, FAC, calls our current situation a cost of touring crisis. David Martin has said, "Playing live is becoming financially unsustainable. Artists are seeing playing live as a loss leader now. That's if they can even afford to make it work in the first place." Several musicians interviewed in the piece shared their tour budgets, and almost all came out at a loss. Every cost associated with touring is rising and rising steeply. Many people would go, "Oh, Mary, you're a huge deal. You have 750,000 subscribers. Surely you'll be playing Wembley Stadium. It'll be easy." The reality, not so much. An online following doesn't necessarily translate to getting people to give up their evening. A relationship with an audience goes both ways. If you, as the artist, are expecting them to travel or get a train or a babysitter, you have to really offer them something of worth. You can't just expect them to camp out and scream hysterically when you take to the stage.
This is especially true because of, a couple other videos that I've put out reacting to, like Bradley Hall's Why Internet Guitarists Are So Hated. Not only just because of the reasons that Mary has just mentioned, because a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is true, and this is the way I look at her, no, by no means. Internet musician, if we're going to go out in a show, pay for tickets and all that, we're going to go see like a national act. I think that's a great part of it. Like she said, yes, having a huge YouTube following does not mean when you start going out to gig that you're going to be jam packing even 3,000 and 5,000 seat small theaters and all that. It's not how it works with YouTube musicians and online creators most of the time. There's a few people that get that luck, but most don't. And I think a lot of it too is the stigma of online content creator, not a real musician. Not saying those are my feelings or views. That's the views of many others.
I recognise that for many people as well, my music is in the background of the talkie videos. My songs are not everyone's cup of tea, but I have a small and relatively dedicated fan base around the world, and about half my views come from the USA, and then it's divided up into Canada, the UK, Germany, Australia, and France, and so on. Practically, it's easiest for me to tour the UK first rather than the US in this moment, which is so much bigger
reasons.
and more complicated in terms of visas, travel, local knowledge, and so on. I am proud of my album and want to take those songs out on the road in my home country.
You can have Chicago back just for a little while, just for a little while. I'll come back in style.
Uh-oh.
There's a church down the hill from me.
Am I going to get copyright claim for this now? I've had a couple copyright claim issues, but I've worked them out. I've got no strikes against me, but now I'm just wondering now, because we've got her music in here, am I going to get a copyright strike? I know it's all right for her on her channel, but now am I going to get hit? Educational purposes, reaction video, yeah. Fair use, I say.
There's a church up the hill from you. It's a good thing you went back. Are you happy that I'm sad? Do you know we never ran our course?
I'm not playing particularly big venues between 200 and 400 capacity for just 8 dates. As ticket sales currently go, I'm running at a big loss. The absolute basics, hiring musicians, rehearsal time, travel, van hire, accommodation, per diem, food and drink, all adds up very quickly, even for just 2 weeks on the road. And for 7 people, that's me, the band, tour manager and merch seller, it's round about £25,000. No one is going to be sleeping overnight sat upright in a van on my tour. We are all in our mid-30s, professional musicians, and not quite as resilient as we used to be.
Sleep in the van.
So these are all...
Which is the way that most of us that ever toured has done it. Take it from somebody who's been on the road. That's pretty much exactly how we did it, sleeping. The van did have a sleeper until the van was wrecked. Check out a Let's Chat about that accident on the highway. You'll hear all about that. And after that, there was no sleeper at all for on the road. But that's the way most of us do it. That's why we do it, to keep costs very low. So that way, you're at least not spending money. You're at least breaking even. But most of the time, you spend money and you come at a loss. It's just at how big of a loss. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, not very profitable at all. But that's not what it's about. It's about self-promotion and getting the word out there.
all the costs that don't even include any promotion, which is a pretty important component, because if a band plays and there's no one in the audience to hear it, does it even count as a show? And I'm not too worried about sales just yet, because I still have 4 months to ramp up my marketing efforts. But how do you promote a show in 2024? Word of mouth, digital, print? Conventional wisdom tells you
All
to
of the
take out
above?
paid social media advertising, hire a PR to get you on slots on blogs, local radio, flyer, and so on. You can see the money quickly draining away, and every penny or cent spent makes it harder to break even, let alone make a profit. And I've always stressed about the smart move of building your own direct connection with your audience rather than relying on third-party services. A newsletter, a YouTube channel, these are the best ways to speak directly to your fans. But how do you reach those who haven't signed up to your mailing list or watched your tour announcement video? The answer? Well, I don't actually know. This is my first
I was hoping she did so that way she could tell me. Seriously. Yeah, it's quite literally one of the most difficult things to do in the business is just get yourself out there and known by people that want to consume your brand of music or art or whatever product that you may be selling. There's forums and books on this and complete and total channels all about this subject. And you know what? There's never a simple answer. There's multiple ways of doing it, basically, and your mileage may vary depending on which way you go with it. I don't have the answers either by a long shot. I've done all of it. I've gone on the road. I've done the local thing. I've done more than my fair share of both of them, and it all depends on the situation. Some things work, some things don't. And it depends on that particular band, that particular artist.
headline tour in 6 years. I've played one-off shows here and there since. I've been a support act, but I've never done this many shows as the main attraction. I am not a know-it-all guru, sharing my behind-the-scenes industry secrets. And that is where you come in. Many of you watching have had long careers in music at all levels, and I am not too proud to admit that I need your help, both in spreading the word and hopefully attending a show, but in letting me know your own experiences of touring, promoting, and performing. They'll not only form part of my own tour promotion strategy, but I'll make a follow-up video with a collection of the best advice and what worked for me so that others can learn too. And if you're not a musician with touring experience, you still have a vital role to play. How do you find out about local shows in your area? Venue mailing lists? Do you pay attention to Facebook ads? Or do you get your news from flyers in a record shop, the radio?
Myself, how I find out about shows in my local area is exactly that. Usually I go to a lot of the local venues that have music there, and they'll have it posted up on a board around there. But I also follow, myself at least, the Facebook pages for whatever bar. When I'm thinking about going out on a Friday or Saturday night, I'll go and I'll take a look at all those clubs' pages. So for a lot of this, I feel totally the emphasis is really on the club and the venue to advertise, because there's those ways that I just said are absolutely free. Put up posters inside the bars of the lineup coming up for at least the next month or two, or like a lot of clubs used to do in the old days, they would print up an actual monthly calendar, and every square had, what act was playing, and if there was a cover charge, whatever, any pertinent information for them. But myself, I always tend to go to the Facebook pages and look for it that way, because a lot of bars have their own websites. Some of them are putting stuff up on there, but not a lot of venues really update their website. I find it's more their Facebook and Instagram pages. That's what I'm finding, at least.
Or bands in town. I have no doubt that this tour is going to be a wonderful experience regardless. I'm playing in Liverpool's Cavern, St George's in Bristol, London's beautiful Bush Hall, Birmingham's Castle and Falcon, St Luke's in Glasgow,
Wow.
the Broodnell in Leeds, the Portland Arms in Cambridge, and one of my favourite small venues, the Southampton Joiners. I used to go there a lot as a teenager, so it really means the world to play there. There is a
Nice.
ticket link in the description below, and if you're not able to make it, Please share my music with just one of your friends that you think will like it. And if you're keen for more Tales from the Road, I really recommend Why Am I Doing This?, a 2021 film about touring directed by Eric Fundingsland. If you've ever played to an empty room or slept on the floor of a friendly fan, then this is the film for you. It's definitely van life rather than tour bus. Contributors include the late great Steve Albini and members of Melvins, Sun and Police Teeth. Despite the war stories, the love of touring shines through. These people are tightly bonded from their experiences, and you get the feeling they wouldn't have it any other way. It's just available on YouTube, and I loved it. But anyway, I can't wait to see your response to this video. But of course, I'll be seeing you here again very, very soon.
All right, there it is. The True Cost of Touring by Mary Spender. Once again, if you're not subscribed to Mary Spender and you're watching my stuff, what the hell are you doing? Sub to Mary. She's freaking awesome. My favorite YouTuber overall, not just music or guitar YouTuber. Mary is fantastic. If you subscribe to her, you're going to end up doing a deep dive on her channel and just watching her entire back catalog. Absolutely fantastic YouTuber. So give Mary a sub. And also on the original video, Mary's video, I included the link in the description. Go there and give that a like. And also on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.